So good evening once again, and welcome to this short walkthrough. Well, this is the DiffBot, and I did say earlier today when we interacted that I'm not a marketer for DiffBot, so I'm a technical person, and I'm just trying to look for ways where we can use DiffBot to solve the problem that we want to solve. So in this situation now, what we requested for, searching for information, background information about persons or entity, is something we refer to as a knowledge graph. You want to plot a knowledge graph about a person or an entity. So this is the dashboard of DiffBot, and I click on search, which search for DiffBot knowledge graph to find companies, articles, product, persons across the web. Once I click on this, which is our interest currently, I said the other time as well that the kind of search that we actually wanted, they are not kind of search that you'll be able to do easily with the GUI. That is, if you go by the visual part of DiffBot, where you select person, then you select the field you want to put, and you want to include rather, and some other things, you get limited information. You will get limited information, but of course, okay, I think let's do this as an example. So if we do this, for example, and we search this, we have just about 8 results, as the case may be. Well, and the kind of let's see, if we do something like this now, we have 0 matching results. Of course, if we go by the GUI, you won't get much, but if we go by the query, which allows us, which I said, for DiffBot, you need to learn the DiffBot structured query language structure. You need to learn the DiffBot structured query language. That is the DQL. DiffBot query language is very important that we learn it in order to get robust, verbose responses. So rather than use the visual, I go to the query. For example, I've saved some things in order to save our time. Let me just go to the saved searches that I made earlier. I made several saved searches, and you can see that you will see from this demonstration, this short demonstration, that we'll be getting much more. I started with this actually. I wrote a short query. Let me click on this so that I can bring up the query. This is a short query. I typed the article type : article. It just to understand the syntax, that is the format in which you write the DQL. I typed article as what's it called, as a name, and I can go over this all over again. Let's the type, that is the type of the entity which I actually want. I specified it to be an article. You can specify any other thing. It could be person, organization, investment, place, and all that. So for now, we said article. So let's search for all articles that contains what? We said the text. That's where you put the text. Then of course, I'm putting the text, whatever is I want to search for. I put it in a closed quote, that is a double quote, meaning that I want something that contains this exact length of text. So for us, we want to check for Mercy Johnson Okoje. Let's Mercy Johnson Okoje networks, and I close this up. This is what I typed. So now I'm saying that search for all articles that contains this particular text, Mr. Johnson network. So I click on search. Let's see what gets returns. It says no matching results currently, no matching results as it were. So like I said, whatever you type determines what you get. So this gives us no matching result, but rather if we change this into something else, so once we change this into something else, and without something, let's test something like this now. Let's test this. Let me start with this. So I searched for the article, and text is Mr. Johnson. I removed the Okoje. Now with this, I removed the Okoje, and with the search now, I'm able to get about 8 results. Meaning that for searches, for most of the searches that or for searches that brought in something tangible, like you can say Mr. Johnson's net worth, richest addresses in Nigeria, and all that, and some other information here. You can even have Mr. Johnson biography, age, family, career, movie, net worth, and more. Now with this, it didn't return a query where we have the 3 names there. That is Mr. Johnson Okoje. If I put Okoje now, you would probably get nothing, which I did the other time. If I put Okoje here, this returns nothing, no matching results. So as it were, but there are ways to this which I'm going to show. So if we just do Mr. Johnson net worth, we have about 8 results now. So let's go and check and try our hands on some other things. Now I tried my hands on another one. That is, I changed the way. Now let me quickly explain this. I typed article as the type of the entity that I want to search for, and of course I followed by Mr. Johnson Okoje, which means that I'm searching for articles that contains Mr. Johnson Okoje. And of course I can always cut this out so that we can see how each section of the query will perform. Now you can see with this, what this is saying, that I'm searching for an article, for all articles which contains Mr. Johnson Okoje. So it searched for about 1,355 articles that contains a name. That is, with this, either instances of these 3 names, whether Mr. Johnson, Mr. Okoje, Johnson Okoje, as the case may be, which is what we did. But for us, I want to do more than this. We are not just looking for the name now. So I introduced something. What I did is to introduce the OR operator. The OR operator means that I am searching for Mr. Johnson Okoje. That is, all articles that contains Mr. Johnson Okoje, or articles that contains Mr. Johnson, that contains Mr. Johnson Okoje network, or Mr. Johnson network, and I sort it by date. I can sort by either of the title, either of the heading, either by date, by site, by author, by title, or by sentiment. So if I run this now, that is, I'm searching for all articles that contains Mr. Johnson Okoje, or that contains Mr. Johnson, or you can see the syntax, text colon or. So I put all the things in bracket. They are substitutes of what you should check, and for this it means either of any of these things in the quote, either of any of these things in the code. If I want to make it street, I will put street in front here, and that will ensure that it's just looking for that particular one itself. So for now, we want to just check, we want to make a verbose check, and then let's run this and see what it brings for us. At least we have a much more filtered result. Now we have about 1,312 results containing Mercy Johnson Okogie, Mercy Johnson, Okogie net worth, and Mercy Johnson net worth. All these are here. Now we can refine our search. I went further to do something leaner. I called it Mercy Johnson Okogie lean. Let me run this, for example, and I can explain what I did. So what I just did is I started the query by specifying that I wanted to check for all articles. Now you can see I've removed the specific name Mercy Johnson Okogie. I told the DiffBot to search for all articles where or which contains, search for all articles that contains Mercy Johnson Okogie net worth or Mercy Johnson net worth, and to sort it by sentiment. I wanted to sort by sentiment, not by date. Well, I can turn this to date, but one thing about sentiment, let me explain this before I take this away, is that once it's sort by sentiment, it means it gives me it ranks, or it shows me first the links that, or the return of the query that has higher sentiment. So and that is what I did here. But for, if you want to check sort by date, I can turn this to dates, which is also a field here, and I do a search. So you can see this gives us a more refined search result that contains Mercy Johnson net worth and all that. So with this, you have a whole lot of, although is slimmer, it's leaner compared to the 1,300 or something that we got. This leaner, and of course, as you refine these search terms here, you get more refined details. You get more refined results. So let's check some other queries that I tried. I did one also. I combined several things. Let me do this one by date. I think I've done new. Let me do by date, where I sort. I think I've done this already. Oh, I did it just now. So let me just sort it again, just in case. Right. So with this, we have let me search again. All right. So now you have this. It says Mercy Johnson. I'm sorting with date. Fine. So Mercy Johnson's net worth and asset, Mercy Johnson biography, and age, net worth, and more. List of all that. So this is bringing up all the relevant information about Mercy Johnson. Now this depends on how you coin your query. Let me check another one, which is I think that's the last one now. I said Mercy Johnson Okogie sent, and that's what I called the name of the query, sentiment. Now with this, what I'm looking for is I set the query to check for all articles which contain texts that contains either Mercy Johnson Okogie net worth, or you can see there's a comma with the information, the text in the code, Mercy Johnson net worth. Then I checked Mercy Johnson Okogie's net worth. Then I also checked Mercy Johnson net worth. Then sorted by sentiment, which brought this for me. If I run a further search again, this I have a refined search now. That's about giving us about 3 1821. All because I've expanded the search bracket to include Mercy Johnson Okoje network, Mercy Johnson's Okoje network, then Mercy Johnson Okoje's network, then Mercy Johnson network, all sorted by sentiment. So invariably, it depends on what we want to look for and how we coin our query. So that will determine what we're going to get, as the case may be. And of course, you can download this as CSV or make it an API call, so that this information is probably passed into your database where you can now filter. But of course, you can do your filters here as well. So if you try to check this on the visual, you can see this is a complex query and not yet supported by Query Builder. Please use the Query tab to edit further. So you can see if you want to get something more verbose, result are more verbose, you have to use the query, that is the DiffBot query language. That's DQL. So once you learn or you interact more with the DQL, you'll be able to know what exactly, how to coin the query language to get what exactly we desire. So I believe this is the first point of call, which I intended to show us earlier today, but one way or the other, the signal, the network was not supportive, and we couldn't do that. So I'll share this, then we can continue our discussion. Thank you and have a wonderful night rest.